repeated the question the second time. The guard answered, yes. The second time with a lower and humble voice. The lawyer repeated the same question the third time. And the guard answered, yes, with a much mellow and subdued voice. After the acquittal, a reporter approached the guard and asked him as to why his answers were losing their tone and softening every time the question was repeated. The guard replied, I was asked if I did sway the lantern. I did. But there was no light. Brother Johnny, if you were traveling in the train, if you and your family were traveling, if your family was traveling in the train, and I was the guard, would you want me to have the light in that lantern? Or would you want me to just sway like this guard? What would you like?
Like to have light.
You'd like to have me show the light. Brother Sungeeth, if your family was traveling in that train, would you like me to have light in my lantern when I sway? Or would you like me not to have the light as this guard did, which caused the collusion? If your parents were traveling in that train and I was a railway guard, would you like me to have light in my lantern when I sway or no light? Are you sure? Here is light for you. Balaam on that day did not receive any financial gains. He went home scratching his head as to what went wrong. But trust me, he got his reward. Plenty, bountiful. He was very happy. We're going to read Numbers chapter 22 verse 12. Balaam knew the problem. And God said unto Balaam, thou shalt not go with them. Thou shalt not curse the people, for they are blessed. Balaam knew Leviticus chapter 26, verse 2 onwards. Ye shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Lord. If ye walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, then I will give you the rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit, and your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time, and ye shall eat your bread to full, and dwell in the land safely. And I will give peace in the land, and ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. And I will rid every evil beast out of the land, neither shall the sword go through your land. What a blessing. And so, how did Balaam fill his pocket? Let's turn to Revelation chapter 2 verse 14. This is Jesus speaking to one of the churches. And he says, but I have a few things against thee, because thou hast there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat things sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication. Now, it is really not clear what was the stumbling block. And so the best place to find out about the stumbling block is to actually complete the story. What was the stumbling block that Balaam caused? Merciful Heavenly Father, how loving, long-suffering, kind and truthful you are. There are times, Lord, we as elders of the church, preachers in the gospel, could cause a stumbling block because of the love for money. We ask you, Lord, that you will give us the strength to keep away from this sinful desire. And speak to us as we listen. In Jesus' name. For 40 years, the children of Israel toiled in the wilderness and had come to the border of Canaan. You know, Pisgah, Mount Pisgah overlooked Canaan. They were not so far away. They were at the base of Mount Pisgah. So we turn to Numbers chapter 25. What was the stumbling block? The story ends at Numbers chapter 24, where we see no curse applied on the children of Israel. But the story in chapter 25 is totally different. Please pay close attention. It is a serious story. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods, and they did eat and bow down there to their gods. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. And the Lord said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people, and hang them before the Lord against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one of his men that were joined unto Baal Peor. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Bold, eh? Do what you want. I will do what I want. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. You could use your imagination as to what was going on in the tent. Needless to explain, the javelin thrust through and through both. Verse 9. And those that died in the plague were 24,000. And the Lord God spake to Moses, saying, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, had turned my wrath away from the children of Israel, while he was zealous for my sake among them, that I consumed not the children of Israel in my jealousy. Wherefore say, behold, I will give unto him my covenant of peace, and to his seed. Who was the man in verse 14? Who was the man who brought a Midianitish woman? Let's read. Now the name of the Israelite that was slain, even that was slain with the Midianitish woman, was Zimri, the son of Salu, a prince of a chief house among Simeonites. Who was he? He was a prince. Headlight, arrogant, proud. I am the prince, I can do what I want. in her, and what was her status? Read verse 15 and 18 with me. And the name of the Midianitish woman that was slain was Cosbi, the daughter of Zur. He was the head over people and the chief house in Midian. They were not small people. These are all chiefs. Powerful people in both lands. One in Israel, one in Midian. For they vex you, verse 18. For they vex you with their wiles, wherewith they have beguiled you in the matter of Peor, and in the matter of Cosbi, the daughter of a prince of Midian, their sister, which was slain in the day of the plague of Peor's sake. Interesting. The offenders were leaders. Who was instrumental in this plague? Whom do you think was instrumental in this plague? The leaders? Let's read further. Let's see what the Bible says. Turn with me to Numbers chapter 31. You know, Numbers chapter 26 takes off in a tangential. It tells different stories. Unless we read further, we will really not understand what was going on. Numbers chapter 31, verse 1 onwards. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites. Afterward shalt thou be gathered unto thy people. And Moses, verse 3, and Moses spake unto the people, saying, Arm yourselves unto the war, and let them go against the Midianites, and avenge the Lord of Midian. Of every tribe 1,000 throughout all tribes of Israel shall he send to the war. Verse 8. So they went for war, and they slew the king of Midian, beside the rest of them that were slain, namely Evi and Rechem and Zur and Hur and Reba, 5 kings of Midian. Read with me. Balaam also, the son of Beor, they slew with the sword. That was Balaam's judgment. They slew him with the sword. Verse 9. And the children of Israel took all women of Midian captives, and their little ones, and took the spoil of all their cattle, and all their flock, and all their goods. Verse 12. And they brought the captives, and the prey, and the spoil unto Moses and Eleazar the priest, and unto the congregation of the children of Israel, unto the camp at the plains of Moab, which are by Jordan near Jericho. And Moses and Eleazar the priest, and all the princes of the congregation went forth to meet them without the camp. And Moses was wroth with the officers of the host, with the captains over thousands and captains over hundreds, which came from battle. Why? Why was he angry? Let's read 15. And Moses said unto them, Have ye saved all the women alive? Behold, these caused the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam to commit trespass against the Lord in the matter of Peor. And there was a plague among the congregation of the Lord. Did Balaam go empty-handed? No. He went his pockets full. His donkey was more struggling that day to walk home because he had plenty weight on it. He told Balaam, he told King Balak what he could do best. This is where we get the glimpse of what Balaam advised King Balak. If the children of Israel commit fornication, they will lose the close relationship or the blessing from God. And this will bring judgments on them from the very God that protected them. Verse 17. Now therefore, kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that hath known man by lying with him. Oh! But all the women children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. I'd like to tell you a little story. By the way, my sermon is filled with a lot of stories, so keep vigilant. There was a powerful businessman. He went for a health checkup. He was a vegetarian all his life. Good. Never committed any wrongdoing. The doctor took some blood tests and samples and performed some examinations, and he said, "You come back next week." And on the next week, the businessman came happy, and the doctor gave him the results and told him he had cancer. The businessman was very upset. He knew what he wanted to do. And so the businessman caught the doctor by his collar. And he put a knife to his neck. And he said, "Listen, you change the reports. Make them good." Question. Did the businessman get rid of the cancer? Use your imagination as to how children of Israel would have separated the women. Those who slept with a man, those who did not sleep with a man. Why? Why? Because these women had the knowledge of the art of sexual seduction. Question. Is sexual seduction a sin? Yes. Because from the experience of the children of Israel at the borders of Canaan, sexual seduction led to fornication. Fornication led to the plague. And plague led to the destruction. Had Phinehas not stopped it, the entire children of Israel would have been wiped out that day. Do you agree? Read your Bible. Moses decided to take away sin at the first instance. And so he said, get rid of all the women who know, who have the knowledge. Keep it perfect. You don't want to have a plague again. We are at the borders of Canaan. We need to enter in. We need to enter in. I need to define what sexual seduction is in terms of the word, not through me or not through the Bible. Let's look at what the word describes sexual seduction as. December 14 in 2015, all the British papers were filled on their first page or the second page or the third page with a big news. A glamour model called Katie Price just put makeup on her 9-year-old daughter. Her eyebrows were highlighted and they were made up. Extensions were given to her eyelashes. Her hair was made wavy and beautiful. She wore a bright pink glossy lipstick. And the comments received from the worldly people, this is recorded in the newspapers, you can go and check. 14th December 2015. You can just type model Katie Price in the makeup of her daughter. What is wrong with this girl's mom? This is over-sexualizing a little girl. This is sad. This is wrong. This is wrong. Many comments fill these papers. The Daily Telegraph on 4th of December 2018 this year. A head teacher from the Isle of Wight secondary school took 250 girls out of lesson because of their inappropriate clothing. He tells the journalist Radhika Shahani why it's so important for girls to wear knee-length skirts and not show their bra straps. This is not my wordings. You can see the Daily Telegraph. The Telegraph. On 8th of October 2018, both BBC and ITV recorded this. 1 in 3 girls in UK have been sexually harassed in public when wearing school uniform. A new report has suggested. Can you put these two together? In May 2016, Nicola Thorpe lost her job because she refused to wear high heels at work. You can check this name on the internet. I quote from the defense lawyer. If they set the code because they thought high heels made women look sexy, that is the case, says Lawrence Davis, Director of Equal Justice Limited Solicitors, because being sexy at work is not a job requirement. Still, Nicola lost her job because she was required to be clothes that cleave to the body and delineate the intimate contours, shapes and curves of the body, which all parents teach their children that these body parts are private, be it for a male or a female, should be avoided or wore under proper garments so it is not visualized. 3rd of December 2018 on BBC, there was a journalist that walked into the Australian Parliament, Patricia Carlos. She walked in with just sleeveless tops and she was sent away from the British Parliament because you can allegedly see too much skin. That was what was told to her. Our church manual states on music, it requires the choir and those who perform music or those who sing. It says, because they occupy a conspicuous place in the church service, they should be examples of modesty and decorum in their appearance and dress. Choir robes are optional. Has sexual seduction crept into our church? I leave that for you to answer. Take a look at a few parallels that Jesus highlighted. Turn with me to Luke chapter 17, verse 26 to 30. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriages until the day Noah entered the ark and the flood came and destroyed them all. Verse 28, likewise also it was in the days of Lot. They did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day of the Son of Man is revealed. I would like you to compare these eras. Okay? Noah's time, Lot's time, on the borders of Canaan, and on the appearing of Jesus Christ the second time. Look at these 4 time frames. Sexual immorality. In Noah's time, the sons of God took daughters of men, got married to them, and guess what? The very next text says, and God said, my spirit shall not strive with man always. Something was wrong. Obviously, God created marriage. But when you see the sons of God taking wives of the sons of man, there was a problem. God said, I will not strive. My spirit will not strive. When Noah got Lot into the ark, an unseen hand shut the door. Please remember, when in the experience of the ark, there was a door shut that separated good from the bad. A door was shut. There was a destruction in the form of flood, and all those who were in the ark were saved. Now let's look at Lot's time. You know the word sodomy comes from this place Sodom. Go into your forensic medicine, you will understand what it is. Was there a door shut? Do you remember a door shutting? When Lot went out to speak to the people, they came out and said, "Hey, let out these men, we want to know them." What did the angels do? They put their hand out, pulled Lot inside, and shut the door. There was a door shut even at Lot's time. I want you to remember this. Forget everything else. Remember this. There was a door shut, symbolizing close of probation. Destruction came in as fire and brimstone and destroyed the city. And only those that were out of the city were saved. On the borders of Canaan, sexual immorality was in the form of fornication with the Moabites and the Midianites. Was there a door shut? Was there a probation? It was the choice of Moses and the judges to plead with God in front of the temple, in front of the tabernacle. It was their choice. And destruction came as plague did. And who was saved? All who did not commit fornication, adultery. Now let's look at what is in future, what is to come. Is there sexual immorality in this world? It is on the rise. Is there going to be a door shut? Trust me, there will be close of probation. We are warned about it. That is when God will say, "Let the just be just still, and the unjust be unjust still." That is your close of probation. Destruction will come same as Sodom did. Receive fire and brimstone. And all those who will be saved will be those who will rise up to meet Christ in the clouds of heaven. Question. Did God completely destroy the Moabites? No, He did not. Your God and their God is a loving God. He is a long-suffering God. He is a kind God, and you should be happy about it. Because God, in His infinite mercy, chose to condescend into this world through a Moabitish lineage called Ruth. There is mercy for all those who choose to repent and stay pure. God did work through the prophet of Balaam. He was a prophet of the Lord to the non-Israelites. He had a choice to make. God loved him so much. God's love and mercy extends regardless of how sinful you are. Yet God warned Balaam to stay away from Balak. Eventually Balaam gave in for the pressures of finance. God was even with Moabites and the Midianites. You know who the Moabites were? They came out to an illicit relationship between Lot and his daughter. You know who the Midianites were? Right after Sarah died, Abraham got married to somebody called Keturah, a lady. And she had a litter of children. One among them was Midian, whose lineage are the Midianites. They all knew the true God. They all worshipped the true God at one point in time. Yahweh God. They were no different. I want you to keep this in mind. They were all brothers. Half. Abraham, their father. As one renowned preacher would put it, the unholy union of Midian, Moab, and a false prophet, here we have as Balaam, brought the destruction of God's people. Likewise, in the book of Revelation, we have a similar unholy union of apostate Protestants, the apostate church which has the little horn, and spiritualism, which will cause the destruction of God's people. I repeat, apostate Protestants, apostate church which pay homage to the little horn, and spiritualism, which will cause the destruction of people. Is the story of Balaam relevant to us? Yes, it is. The big problem of money still lingers around. It can cause our downfall. Do you know? 7 separate books apart from Numbers talks about Balaam. Deuteronomy chapter 23 verse 4, Joshua 13, 22, 24, Joshua 9, 14, 15, Nehemiah 13, 2, 3, 2 Peter 2, 16, Micah 6, 5, Jude 11. There's only one book in Jude, by the way. Revelation 2, 14. All of these talk about Balaam. They warn about Balaam. Turn with me to Nehemiah chapter 13 verse 2. Because they met not the children of Israel with bread and with water, but hired Balaam against them, that he should curse them. Howbeit our God turned the curse into a blessing. Verse 3. Now it came to pass, when they had heard the law, that they separated from Israel all the mixed multitude. Why? Because they were frightened of what happened at Peor. The effect of the experience with Balaam was so profound that they decided to separate themselves from sin. Read with me what Joshua had to tell the children of Israel. Joshua chapter 24 verse 9, 14 and 15. Verse 9. Then Balak the son of Zippor, king of Moab, arose and warred against Israel, and sent and called Balaam the son of Beor to curse you. But I would not hearken unto Balaam. Therefore he blessed you still. So I delivered you out of his hand. This is Joshua speaking what God has spoken to the children of Israel. Verse 14. Now therefore fear the Lord, and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt, and serve ye the Lord. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, you know this well by heart, don't you? Choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served, that were on the other side of the floods, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. I would like you all to be like Joshua, who went through the experience of Balaam and came out victorious. May we choose, like Joshua, that we will serve the Lord. Amen.